It's time to put Kansas up on the license plate map, but interestingly, no one really knows for sure when the first license plates popped up there, because dozens of cities and counties across the state all started making their own local issues throughout the 1910s, and almost all of those surviving examples are undated. However, we do know that standardized state-issued plates were first launched in 1913, and in those early years, the way you tell the year of validity was not with an actual year on the plate, but by how the letters KAN were arranged on it. Kansas's county coding system first began in 1930, and for a couple of decades they relied on a number based system, but not long after the introduction of their first slogan, the Wheat State, in 1949, the county numbers were replaced by a series of two-letter codes, which is still how Kansas does it to this day. That's not even the most interesting thing about Kansas's 1951 license plates, though, because that also kicked off a 5-year period when the upper right corners were cut off to make the plates in the actual shape of the state. Sadly, though, after license plate sizes were standardized in America in 1956, that design element was discontinued. But they did try to keep the spirit of it alive through the early 1980s, during which time they also dabbled with a few other one-off slogans, something that the state has historically been averse to. And starting in 1981, the state began to update its license plate design every 6 or 7 years on average, and they've had some pretty cool ones, including the 2000's Capitol base that I'm using for the map, which was one of my favorites growing up. Kansas switched from embossing their plates to printing them flat back in 2019, and just last year, they got a total overhaul, which they were long overdue for. It wasn't without its hiccups, but I dig the design they settled on, which not only includes a return to printing the shape of Kansas on the plates, but also the use of a proper slogan for the first time in 50 years. Kansas is now done and ready to be placed on the board, and it really helps make the middle of the license plate map look more complete. But let me know in the comments what state you'd like to see me do next.